so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist lab.
No, do you know what that smell is, Jared? I think it's the
Rock is cooking?
It's always good to know what The Rock is cooking. And if you don't know what The Rock is cooking, you need to find out. Actually, I'm going to let you guys know here on the 305th episode of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast with Jared, Lee, and RJ. I mean, just keep on cooking, baby. Nope. But it smells like fall outside, Jared.
Ew.
I know it's not your favorite time of year. I know we have done this every year. We've had this kind of spiel, kind of debate year in and year out about fall and everything that's great about it and everything that you just wish would go away.
Nothing great about it.
Well, there's a lot of great things about fall. First and foremost, there's all four major sports are on in some capacity in the month of October.
Don't care.
Okay. We've got Halloween coming up. Ooh, spooky.
Still don't care.
We've got Candy, who doesn't like candy.
Although I bought this shirt the other night, and I wish it. I like it. I wasn't gonna. I'll wear it later in the month, but I'm kind of like in between with it, like whether I like it or not. As I bought it, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty goth-like-ish," but then I'm like,
Do you feel if you wear it, it's gonna make us question who you are?
No, it's not that. It's just I don't know. You'll see when I wear it.
I got you. And before we kick everything off, big shout out to X-Tina. Hope you're feeling better. Thanks for coming over for the show. We hope you're doing well. And also, a very big birthday shout out to a very loyal follower and listener of ours, the wonderful Miss D.A., I think, who is celebrating out of town. But happy birthday to you.
Of course it's out of town.
Yeah, I mean, there's only like 5 places we can all go here, so I don't blame her for wanting to do that. But happy birthday to you. Thanks for always showing us love and support here on the show. It's always very much appreciated. There's something besides the fall time I wanted to talk to you about, Jared. Jared, do you like your wallet?
No.
You don't? Okay, that is not the answer I was expecting.
No, because it's old and I need a new one.
Oh, okay.
I've only had legitimately since I had to have a wallet, I think I've only had 2 wallets.
It's crazy. I'm glad we brought this up because at work this week, this conversation randomly occurred. My coworker pulled his wallet out of his back pocket and threw it down. And man, this thing looks like it has seen better days. Yeah. I mean, it was ancient. The thing had to be well over 10 years old.
Oh, no, mine's older than that.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So this is when I was like, dude,
my previous one was even older than that.
I was like, bro, damn, your wallet's kind of beat up. And he was like, yeah. I was like, you don't want to get rid of it, do you? He was like, why would I? And I was like, yeah, exactly. And he was like, if somebody were to present me with a new wallet, it's nice, but he was like, I don't know how I feel about getting rid of my old wallet.
Well, you have to get one every so often. Okay, so the first one I had when I first started getting bank accounts was a wallet that I had because I just needed something to use at the time.
Of course.
It was a Michael Jordan wallet.
Oh, I know that was flashy back then. Was it, here, before you
No, it was a Velcro cheap one and it had the plastic on the outside, but after a while, it got so old that the plastic started to break apart. And
yeah.
it was bad. And then when I worked in California in the mall, it just so happened that the cart next to us was a leather cart. They had bags and wallets and all kinds of leather goods. And one day, one of the girls saw my wallet and she was like, "Here."
Yeah. No, but it's crazy because the only reason I brought this up,
you can switch to Kick. Kick's not lagging.
He was telling me, he was like, hey, man, getting a new wallet's nice. He was like, but I wouldn't know how to feel about it. And then it dawned upon me is about 2 Christmases ago, my sister
or refresh
got me a wallet for Christmas. Very nice gift. I am currently using it. But then I was thinking damn, I don't really want to get rid of my wallet.
I mean, again, you have to clean because then you go through and you end up cleaning stuff out. getting rid of shit you don't need because you don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot of. That's why I'm trying to. I'm thinking about getting a Ridge wallet because I want something with an RF blocker. Because people don't try to steal.
Yeah, no, I mean that we are in a day and age where something like that is actually probably more normal than the old-fashioned way of doing things. I just thought it was an interesting topic, so I ended up going to a few of the guys in the shop and just random people around the building, like, "Hey, you like your wallet?" And they're like, "Yeah," and then let me see it, and they're all decrepit, like literally all of them.
Well, they're also working class people. If they were rich, they would not have a fucked up wallet.
This is fair, which is a fair assessment. But it was just wild to me that how attached a guy can be to his wallet, no matter how decrepit it is. You can be offered a new one. You might want it, but it's like, do I really want to replace my wallet?
But again, these are, I don't want to say like fucking sound chauvinistic, but these are like men's men type people in these jobs.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna really give a fuck about what their wallet looks like.
And that's fair. But
plus, you got men don't want to change very easily, and like change it is difficult. I mean, for anybody, but
yeah, of course.
I think we get to a certain point where it's like, all right, my life is functioning smoothly enough. I don't need another extra thing to take it out of whack.
Yeah, it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you for the biddies, Christina.
Christina, welcome. What I was gonna say though, I just wanted to kick the show off with that just because it just happened and I was like, oh my god, this is an excellent topic for the podcast.
Like, mine's it's not that bad. This is actually a Kenneth Cole reaction one. This is the one they gave me.
That's the one that young lady gave you.
Yeah, but this was probably 2005, 6.
So I'll give you credit, man, for a wallet that old. It looks pretty damn good, dude.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like you don't want to be with a chick and you're out on a date and you got to pull your wallet out and you got like a ratty looking wallet.
Yeah, there's that. It's crazy. I didn't think about that probably because I haven't been on a date since Bush been in office, senior. But that's okay. What I was going to say is, it's just a fascinating thing. It's a guy thing, I'm telling you. I'm sure women with purses,
they buy new purses all the time.
Yeah, left and right. You know what I mean?
Purses, fucking wallets that go in the purses.
A wallet that fits on top of the wallet that goes inside of the purse.
Yeah, chains or coin. Well, they don't really need, you don't really need coin purses anymore, but like coin purses.
Do people really carry coins anymore?
No, that's why I literally just said that.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. I was at Oktoberfest because it's fall.
Okay. Well, my mom still carries one, but I don't know. She uses cash. I don't know why she still has it. She doesn't really use cash that much, but not enough to get coins back. But
yeah, I feel when I get coins back, well, first and foremost, the last time I got coins back, I think I told or was offered them. I was like, here, just keep them. Like, because I'm not going to do anything with them at this point in my life. Depends on how much coin there is, obviously.
If I have some leftover, like quarters or nickels, I have this bowl that I just put them in. Like, they'll sit on my counter for a minute. Then I'm like, all right, let me put these in the fucking bowl.
So you got your, like, swear jar kind of thing? I wouldn't call it a swear jar, but your piggy bank.
It's more like a piggy Tupperware. Just because I didn't have anywhere else to put it, and it just started accumulating in there. It's not a lot of money, but it's something.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad's side of the family, they had this large Tootsie Roll jar, which I'm assuming like mini Tootsie Rolls came in them at some point in time.
I had one of those.
But they basically duct taped the top of it and cut a slit in the top and made it a swear jar. When I was a kid.
Well, no, they actually made those. I had one. It was actually a Tootsie Roll thing, and it had a plastic top with a slot already in it.
So maybe I'm thinking of the exact same thing.
Probably the same. They put the top on it so you couldn't get it out of.
And I remember going over, looking at it as a kid. I think I was at my either my grandmother's house or my aunt's house or something, and I picked it up, and it was heavy as shit. And I was like, what is this? And they're like, yeah, when we cussed, we used to throw coins in there. And it was heavy, dude. It was like a brick. I was like, oh. So I come from,
Over time, it's going to get filled up. I used to, like wrap my coins before I took them to the bank and shit. So
I feel like that's the proper way to do that, though. I don't know how.
well, now they have machines that you can just drop it in and it'll
at
count
the
it
bank
for you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it depends. Like my bank does,
Okay.
but at specific locations.
I don't think I've been inside of my bank or my branch of bank in a while.
Well, I've only been going because the machine doesn't take all the cash on that because I've been having to use cash recently for whatever reason. Not gonna get into that. But then I have to go in because the machine doesn't accept all of them because it's like ruffled or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have to go inside I get it because people barely go inside, but they're so like, oh, let me get the door for you. Like, bitch, fucking put my money in the bank. I don't need nothing else from you.
Yeah, I'm not paying you. I'm paying myself right now. Like, I'm paying myself to
and
walk
I get
in
it
here.
because the whole customer service thing, they want to sell you more shit. I'm like, I don't need nothing from y'all because, like, you're just going to put me further in debt. I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that. It's because, like, when it comes to, like, credit cards and things like that, I've got my one, and I'd like, just like, hey, just go take out a loan, go get a credit card, go do this. It's like, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's just putting yourself deeper in the hole.
And I wish I could do things like, or shit, put it this way. We talk about being poor on the show. Dirt poor, please donate.
I wish you would stop saying that because that's just reinserting that that mindset into your brain.
Well, it's not. It's also part of the bit. I thought I made it a bit at this point.
Oh, okay.
That
didn't seem like a bit.
Well,
it seemed like your total mindset.
No. I mean, dude, look, like, put it this way: if I had that mindset, like, legitimately, I don't think we would be doing this show weekly. I feel like I would be out, like, grinding my ass out doing something.
No, that's not how that works. The way that mindset works is like, okay, this is all there is. I'm gonna accept it. This is how it's gonna be. If you didn't have that mindset, you would be doing what you're saying.
Well, at the same time, it just depends on the levels of pressure you want to apply upon yourself. I could do that, but do I want to do that right now? I don't know.
Then you are going to continue to be in the same place.
I am not going to be in the same place forever.
Unless you put the work in that. Like, it's just weird. I'm not talking about you specifically, but there are people around me that I just don't understand, like, how the fuck are you not trying to do something? Like, it doesn't compute in my brain to, how can I say this without being obvious? To not apply yourself to anything.
Yeah, well, let me ask you, I guess this is a good question. What do you think, in general, sparks motivation? Like, just in any kind.
Well, and I wish I had learned this a long time ago. And I just I only recently had it said to me or read it in this manner. Is motivation isn't always going to be there. The discipline is what creates the motivation.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel like doing something one day, then that's, again, lack of motivation. But if you have something that you're trying to do and you're actively trying to work towards it, even if you don't feel motivated, you're disciplined. You just doing the thing that you need to do to get that step closer is enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. You're making 100% sense.
And I just figured that out recently. I'm like, yeah, I was like, I just gotta if I feel like shit, I just gotta do whatever. My body has to do what I tell it, and my mind can't. Even if I'm battling my mind, because this happens all throughout the week between jiu-jitsu and comedy. Like, oh, you don't need to go on stage. You don't need to go up there. You don't need to drive here. You don't need to go get on the mat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's a constant battle against my own brain, which I think in itself, that's the discipline part of it. But in itself, it creates the motivation. It was like, oh, no, I know I can do it because I forced myself.
Yeah.
Whatever consciousness is like, no, you got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, and I agree with that, and I actually 100% agree with that. The reason I say that is because when I was
Christina, I said refresh or go to kick. Same tag.
there was a good friend of mine when I was a little younger, in my early 20s. He was a neighbor of mine. His name was Yadel. Really, really awesome guy. And I remember one time we were hanging out, and we were just kind of kicking it, and we were, smoking the chunga, as I like to call it, and he said something to me. I can't remember what we were talking about, but he said, one day I had to do something, and he said, I didn't feel like doing it at all. He was talking about basically being lazy or being upset about something, and he was like, dude, you know what happens when that happens to you? He said it takes severe self-agitation to make yourself get up and go do something, sometimes. It's like, if I was laying here, say you weren't over here and we weren't doing this show right now, and I was laying on the couch, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm comfortable, but I should get out. And it's like, man, I should get out. And it's like, you have that battle with
constant battle.
You gotta annoy yourself a little bit. It's like, get up off your ass, RJ. It's like, oh, okay, fine. Let me put my boots on. Let me, whatever. And he told me that a long time ago, and from time to time, that always just pops up in my head. For whatever reason, because it was just a very honest thing that he shared with me. And I just felt it was very real, and it applied to the scenario at the time, but it still applies years later or in everyday life, I believe.
Oh, yeah. You can't let your inner bitch win.
Yeah, no, fuck that, dude.
'Cause those are wins, those are W's throughout the day. Even if you don't get fully accomplished what you wanted to get, just the act of starting to do something will roll into. I found that my most productive days are just the days that I'm like, fucking fine, I'll do it.
No, and those, and I think when you do the things like that, when you accept that, it's like, hey, this is what I got to do. I think it really makes it, even though it's a little annoying, it makes it much easier to kind of just go ahead and do it. It's like, hey, someone's got to do it. I'll be that person. No problem. Sure, cool, and just roll with it. It doesn't, if you don't have to speak on everything. If you complain about every little thing, you're never going to do anything.
Oh, complaining makes it worse, because now you're talking down to whatever is trying to push you up. Like, again, the consciousness thing, like it's that the battle of it's quantum shit. I don't know. I see what I want to say in my head, but I don't know if I can articulate it in a way that people understand.
Well, at least it's there, and that's a good thing. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have, it on the tip of my tongue or whatever it is, and then be completely oblivious. But I just feel, it's pretty wild, actually, if you think about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a deeper consciousness thing about it. But that's why I was saying, like, don't keep saying that, because that part of that consciousness is going to linger. And you want to talk positive out into the universe so that positive gets returned.
Yeah, and what's crazy is every day in the mirror, I'm like, you're rich. That's what I tell myself.
Surprisingly, it does help. I have fucking Post-it notes all over my fucking apartment. Like,
that's good.
Like, one I just put, I don't know if I talked about this last week. One I put up just because it was like, all right, these are great goals. Get a Netflix special, headline at comedy club. Those are great goals. But what can I do now that doesn't make me feel like, this is a fucking far-fetched fucking thing? What can I do to accomplish? So then I was like, be the funniest comedian in the room. So every time I go on stage, I'm trying to be the funniest motherfucker there.
Yeah, small steps.
Yeah, and I've noticed that it has helped a lot.
Well, I will say this. I think when you initially visualize something in your head like a goal, the overall, I guess, aspect of getting there can be very overwhelming. It's like, oh my God. Say I want to be a millionaire. It's like, oh man, it's not going to fall out of the sky. But if I do, and that's where the discipline comes in. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. It's like, if I do a little bit every day, and not and I want to throw this out there too.
Partly with that though, you have to learn how to be a millionaire.
Yes, this is true. There's a lot, and I'm only going to be very basic in my example. But if you just take the time to say, hey, I'm going to do this just today. Like the way I've treated drinking or not drinking the last 10 months, it's like, hey, you know what? Sometimes I do feel like having a drink, and it's like, you know what? I'll have one tomorrow. That's what I tell myself. I'm going to have one tomorrow. Let's see how I feel tomorrow.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Instead of pushing off, like, or procrastinating, the positive things, push off the negative thing. Procrastinate on it. That's a good way of looking at it, actually.
Yeah, no, I was literally like, for my birthday is a very good example. I didn't drink on my birthday. I drank the day before my birthday and the day before that because I was at a wedding. Then my birthday comes, and my mom's like, I cook with my mom. She's like, you want to have a drink? You want to do anything? I bought this bottle that we're about to, have a drink of. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll have one tomorrow. You know what? It's like I had a drink yesterday. I had one before that. I've been really good. It's my birthday. You got me this nice shower curtain. It is nice. Let me take this as a win. I don't have to be fucked up on my birthday every year, nor does anybody. So that is what I tell myself. Whenever I get that, you know how I am with the weather, the fall time and everything. It's just like whenever I get that urge, it's like, you know what? Let me wait 20 minutes. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. If tomorrow the weather is the same exact and I have the same feeling, I'll do it. If not, it passes. And I've taught myself that, and I'm very proud of myself for that, because there's a couple days where it's like, damn, after work, I wouldn't mind literally going and having a beer or two, which isn't going to hurt anybody, not even me. But at the same time, it's like, man, I don't need to do this today. Let me do it tomorrow. So that's just the way I've been carrying those things lately.
Great.
And now, since I say that, I would like to share a shot with you, if that's okay. You got the these are clean. I pulled the test tubes out since it's been a while here on the Mad Scientist.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while, but I figured
it's been a while.
Can't
Can't even see it.
Yep. So cheers to the Mad Scientist Lab, and cheers to the beach.
Cheers to everybody, and the new follower on Kick.
Oh, we got a new follower. Shout out to you. Oh yeah.
Over here on Kick, you can do any damn thing.
Really?
Almost, yeah. They're all about gambling on there.
So, do you think that, man, gambling? Do you think things are kind of pushing the envelope of too far? I mean, I think it's already way past that.
We've talked about that before. It's already past.
I don't really know how to feel about the internet right now, or just kind of. I don't know how to feel about a lot of things.
Same thing. I've been saying for months. People are like, so do you think blah blah blah? This, that, and other. I'm like, no, it's too late. It's all too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When people were warning us about certain things a year or two ago, and I'm talking about everything. I'm not just talking about one specific thing.
Yeah, no, I got you.
When we were being warned and people were sounding the alarm, like, look, hey, I don't know about this AI thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I don't know about.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I don't know if you want to vote this guy in. All kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to bring back or sell fucking Elon fucking X. I don't know if you want Twitter to go away. All I'm saying is everyone was warned, and people are just sheep.
Well, man, I had a good thought. Hold on. Hang tight with me.
You were talking about AI.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I'm glad you brought up the AI point.
I don't like that.
Oh, what, AI?
No, that Jack Daniels.
The honey?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I typically mix it with something, so it's just not a...
Taste. I don't like sweet, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely very sweet. No, I'm glad you brought up the AI. Reason being is because not only is it becoming more prominent, my coworker yesterday, we're sitting there maybe an hour before closing time, young man that works with me, he said, hey, RJ, watch this video. And the way he said it to me initially, I was like, okay, what am I looking for? And I'm watching it, and it's a couple on the train, and it had something like love at first sight, and I'm looking at this train, and he's like, isn't that crazy? And I was like, this isn't real, is it? And he was like, no, it isn't. He's like, it's AI. And the only reason...
Our minds can tell now, but it's getting very fast it's getting to the point where we won't be able to tell.
So, and I'm going to say this. If he had not told me to watch it the way he did, I wouldn't probably have suspected something was maybe off, and I more than likely would have fallen for it to a degree.
Oh,
It's like,
okay, so let's put it this way.
yeah.
How many people, specifically certain age groups, but aside from that, how many people who aren't media literate, because this is the new thing about media literacy, is knowing what's real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you don't have that ability to discern, you're going to fucking be susceptible to anything, which is the biggest problem we're having now with all this misinformation going around, because certain politicians are just blatantly lying, but they're putting it on these platforms that only those people who are going to believe it. So then they have this whole group of people who is like, well, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the truth. Here are the facts. Oh, you and your facts. If we don't have the facts, what do we have?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That means reality is different for every fucking person. Which, spiritually, yes, but like on a logical plane, no. It's that you either have the facts or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I will see some stuff on TikTok and I'm like, something's off. It may look real as fuck, but it's not. And I could just, for some reason, you just have this feeling of like something's off about this.
Yeah, and it's as much as we like to joke about it, dude, it's very scary because we're gonna have the generation after us, the generation after them, and think about me and you. If we weren't the age we are, and we were in our early teens, say we're like in high school still, and that's we're growing up with something like that.
Well,
The fact that we are able to decipher, like, oh, that's not a real video, at some point in time, we might not be able to at all.
but that's what I was saying. But that's the thing that's also kind of going on right now. Is a lot of this stuff is being targeted to young people to kind of warp their brains and warp their reality, just to get them to grow. They're basically grooming an entire generation to get them to grow into, okay, well, and I'm mainly talking about politics at this point.
Yeah.
But they're trying to groom these young children, which, ironically, that's what a lot of them are accused of, but into these things that they will have forever voters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then that's the scary part.
That is scary, but I'm gonna just play a tiny bit of devil's advocate, just a tad. Let's just take everything. Let's take the context of what they're preaching to these kids out of it for a second, and say you were in a position to help the youth grow. Would you not want to at least preach some decency, obviously, to the next generation in that sense? Like if you had that power,
decency, yes, but not for your own short-term gain or generational gain.
And I know that's a hard question because I'm like, remove all the context out of it. Yeah.
Well, you can't really. I can't really remove it because then my brain goes to. There's a certain set of people in this country who already had a head start,
And that's fair, too.
and they're the people who are still having the head start on the backs of other people.
I gotcha.
And now they're trying to teach a younger generation, like, hey,
This is how you get ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, more or less.
Yeah. So I just, because I don't like, me personally, I just don't like going out.
And this is how you get ahead, but that's like not a humane way of getting ahead. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, if me and you, like, say this was a huge podcast, say we had like Joe Rogan like numbers or whatever, and we had people who kind of took what we said with
I'll take half of Joe Rogan's.
yeah, well, yes, we would. Yes, we would. But it's like when you do get a platform, it's like I feel as you grow as a platform, you need to grow as a person. You
100%.
You got to remain, grounded. But I feel, and I think that's why Joe's had so much success.
I agree with you. However, I think at a certain point, you reach the peak of your growth when it comes to, because now you're just inundated with all this information, and you're kind of creating your own fog. I think Joe has created his own fog at this point.
Yeah,
where he's just walking through it, not really knowing where to go anymore.
And I think that's fair because you're right. And no pun intended. With when you do reach a pivotal, like, because we'll say, because he was a part of the election, and when the results were in, he kind of had a huge following going up into that. Not to say that he still doesn't in any capacity, but you're right. When you hit like a peak, it's like, where do you go from there? Yeah. Down is always, the famous quote. It's like, once you reach the top, there's nothing down there. There's nothing but the bottom. But it's like, how do you navigate when you're the only one there in your space?
The other thing about that, because it's funny, I've been thinking about this recently, because I haven't really been watching Joe. Like, he hasn't really had any guests that I really care that much about.
There were
a couple, but it's just.
There's been certain topics recently I've chimed in on.
Some. But I was thinking, I'm like, all right, he got paid all that money from Spotify. Then I started thinking, I haven't done the research yet, but then I started thinking, who's in charge of Spotify? Where's that money coming from? So they always say, if you want to know what the root of something is, follow the money.
Of course.
So I'm kind of worried about where that money came from, because he kind of made a shift after he got that first deal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't blatant at first, but then the second deal, it was a whole, whoa, this ain't the Joe Rogan I've been listening to for years. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if maybe part of that is living in Texas, or whatever, very conservative state. But it's been interesting to think about. And I don't want to do the research on where the money's coming from, because I don't want to be that much more worried, and not so much worried, but
Is disturbed the right word?
Yeah,
disturbed. Yeah, disturbed the right word. Well, I will say this: if we ever got to a point where this was something happening for us, to where it's like, hey, we were getting endorsements, we can go out and do this, and it's like this, and that. You have to, man, you got to remain grounded and all that. And I know, I'm not speaking from experience, because I've never been filthy rich and had a platform like these folks do, but I'm sure that's hard to do, especially if you've got people in your face constantly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
a lot of yes men.
Yeah. And so there is probably a very difficult road to navigate when it comes to that. So I would hope that if me and you were fortunate enough to ever experience something like that, we wouldn't become any different than from what we started. Respectfully, I would hate for us to just become.
That's inevitable because your environment's going to change, and that's what we're talking about. Like, when you get to that level and you have that much money and you're around those powerful people all the time, your perspective on life is going to change.
Yeah,
which I imagine is what happened with him.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, it's probably some wild high, dude. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's done different, various everything. And then, it's like, hey, you're a part of, the biggest process in, the free world. That's probably is like, oh shit, dude, I'm part of the election, or I play like a small role in this to a degree.
It wasn't that small.
But regardless, I'm sure that feeling is something that I would think anybody, just that high is something that anybody would strive for. It's like, oh, I made it in some capacity. Whether we made it's like, yeah, I did my podcast in my basement. Yeah, I host Fear Factor. Now I'm the voice of UFC. Now I'm standing next to the president-elect.
He was on news radio before that.
And that as well, yeah. So, I mean, that's just, just watching that process.
He got very lucky early on when he moved to L.A. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just saying part of getting successful, you got to have a little bit of luck.
Well, I agree. But I learned last week, and I'm actually going to share something with you after the show. I learned last week, and I think this happened because, well, actually, I can't tell you why this happened, and I'm sorry to be so, cryptic right now. But I feel when you really, really, really need something or you want something and you don't think it's going to happen, it just falls out of the sky. And it'll just fall in your lap at the most random, inopportune time. And that's what happened to me. And I'm going to share that with you afterwards. And it's good news. It's good news. Nothing crazy. But so I don't know, man. It was pretty wild. Like, I was kind of like, oh, shit. Like, for about a good 15, 20 minutes. I was like, really? I was like, wow. I can't wait to tell Jared. And I will. But regardless, I'm so glad that we're also happy to, excuse me, I'm happy that we're able to have open dialogue on things like this because I really feel, I'm not somebody who is going to go out of the way, and how should I say this? And I'll listen to anybody speak, put it this way. Like, I don't care. Whoever you are, whatever you believe in, I'll listen to you talk. But I think sometimes in this day and age, especially recently, is even though people are speaking up about, the things that make them uncomfortable, I think at a certain point in time, it goes back to what we originally started this show with. Sometimes it takes severe self-agitation. Sometimes we just got to do something about it.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
And
you can't let around or sit around and just, it's going to pop out of nowhere. No, you got to take steps in the direction for the thing to pop out. If I'm on a path, whether it be a chosen path or my own path, I got to still take the steps to get to, I don't know, there's an apple tree that I would like to partake in. How am I going to get to that apple tree that's 100 yards away? I got to take the steps.
Yeah.
And if you just sit there, that apple tree is going to just sit there.
and the more you sit there, the farther and farther it's going to look away.
Well, it's going to keep growing and growing. Every year you're going to see it you're going to see it bloom, and then you're going to see the fruit come out, and then you're going to see the fruit fall. Same thing, spring, winter, fall, summer, like same shit. And you're just going to, damn, I really wish I had one of those apples.
Yeah.
Well, you could have had one fucking, I don't know, however many steps ago.
Yeah.
But you didn't fucking do anything to even try to get to that point.
Yeah, and if you were smart enough, if you would have taken those steps and ate that apple, you might have found a seed, and you could have grown your own tree. That way you don't have to walk to the next one. It can just grow right next to you. So there's so many analogies and metaphors and just ways we can say to just go out and do it. But ultimately, it really just, it does boil down to you. You know what my mom used to tell me when I was in high school and all sorts of crazy shit were happening to me, and it would annoy the fuck out of me. It still does, but she's right. She's like, RJ, you're the cause of your own problems. I'm like, well, that's not my fault. And she was like, no, it is your fault. Yeah.
Lack of accountability off break.
I was in high school. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. I was younger. No high schooler. I don't know any high schooler that listens to their parents. And the ones that I know that do, they're crazy people, and I don't want to be around them in any capacity. I want the person that was fucking arguing with their dad out in the front lawn, and their mom's, in the window shaking her head.
Nah, that's not what you want.
No. I'm just saying, like, if you did that when you were young, you're not going to do it as you're older. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Well, hopefully I think you're mistaking.
I'm not saying be disrespectful to your parents.
I think you're mistaking character with a healthy relationship.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel in order to grow as a young person, like, I feel if you if you try to be too to the book, it's gonna mess with you down the road. I think you're supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to get yelled at by your parents. You're supposed to be. I'm not saying be rebellious and be an asshole.
I'm kind of in between on that one.
No, however, and there are obviously lots of examples that prove me absolutely wrong, 100%. But I feel that everybody needs a tad bit of like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that, just to
Well, yeah,
balance.
but that's not necessarily coming from your parents. That's just, oh, hey, I shouldn't have done that.
No. I'm not saying, like, I wasn't initially saying like you know your parents are the ones that instill that in you, but I think as a high schooler, getting into a tad bit of trouble or it's just or mischief, it's warranted and it should be expected. And I feel like when you don't see it, it's not a bad thing. It's like, man, that's a good kid. He's going to grow up and do good things. But then it's like, well, how does that kid feel? Does he feel that way? Does he not want to go out and just swing from a chandelier sometimes? I'm not justifying it. I'm just giving examples.
I think it depends on, again, first of all, that's your own perspective from growing up. But I don't necessarily agree because everybody has a different personality, and again, their environment is different, so they're gonna have different ways of getting the same thing that you're saying.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. And
so, like, they don't have to go out and fucking smoke weed on the corner.
No, you hide in the woods. You don't smoke on the corner. You're not
or they could just not smoke weed,
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. No, and I'm not. And I'm not advocating for young people to go out and make poor decisions. I'm just saying I'm not.
That's what it sounds like.
It does, and that's why. Because I'm not going to win this argument. I already know. I'm
no, you're not winning this one for me.
No, not with you. I'm not winning with anybody. Or 9 times out of 10 with just basic statistics. I just don't think it's some minor. It's like, what the fuck did you do that for? It's okay. It's a learning process.
No shit. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. So, but I feel that in the youth, when you meet a kid or know a kid that is just excels at everything, is a blessing. 2, it's awesome. But at a certain point in time, do you think it's like, damn, does that guy want to have fun? Like, do you think certain kids can be too militant?
I don't think you're looking at this. You're looking at this from your perspective. Oh, that kid should go out and fucking ride his bike in traffic. Like,
no, I would never encourage anybody to do something like that.
I would think that whatever works best for them to be a productive member of society is how it should be. I don't think you should tell somebody, oh, they have to get in trouble, or just because they didn't get in trouble. Like, I'm not sure I understand your train of thought on that part.
Well, if
I don't know. Go ahead.
No. So here, I will say this, and we'll move forward with it. Is to circle back to the the conversation. My only thing is that when you are so, I guess, strict with yourself, especially at a young age, I feel sometimes it's okay to let your guard down and be free a little bit. If that makes any sense. I'm not saying don't do what your parents tell you or don't do.
Being strict, that's just another word. Being strict with yourself is another word for self-discipline.
All right, there you go. So it circles back.
That's what I'm saying. I don't agree, especially after we just talked about being disciplined and getting things accomplished. I think if they're early enough on, they're aware that they need self-discipline to get to their, again, like we were talking this whole time, to get to their goals, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, and I'm not saying that there is either. But I think what I was kind of getting at is, and again, I am going to use personal references from my youth, not anybody else's.
But that's what I'm saying. You're not taking yourself out of your own shoes to think about that person's perspective.
Oh, I do all the time. That's why I've been as successful as I am. because I am successful.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
I just wanted to make sure. I just want. I am. I do.
See. This is what
empathy.
happens. This is what happens when you make mistakes too much early on. Then you have to fucking self-validate all the time.
That's not happening. Right now.
That's exactly what just happened.
That's not happening.
I am successful. Well, if you are, then you shouldn't have to say that out loud.
I don't. That's the only time I think I've ever said that in my life.
That's not true.
This is the third time, maybe, in like the last 15 years. So
Okay.
I get one every 5 years. What year is it? 2025?
I said it on this podcast in the last year. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so next time I'll say it 2030. All right. book it.
People who do things don't need to let the world know they do them. The world sees it.
Yeah, no, and I understand.
That's it.
You know. It's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. So moving on with the show. Jared, I know that we talked about it last week, and then we're going to keep talking about it. One, because I know that you're finally, like, in motion, you know, with
What are you talking about?
with your comedy.
Motion-ish.
Yeah, motion-ish. Okay, so first of all, motion-ish is a big step forward, because I know that we all know for a while that it was just a shoot your shot open mic comedy night.
Well, that
Shooters.
was also circumstances I couldn't get places.
Fair enough.
So, like, now I'm able to get places. I'm able to do more.
And now that you're able to kind of, again, go out and venture to new spots and new material, and just kind of let new faces see you, that, one, is a win. I know you know that. I don't need to say that. Two, do you feel in the recent, we'll say the last month, since I personally feel you've been hitting these spots, you know, more recently.
Oh, yeah, I was worn out last week. That's why, I didn't do shit last night, and today I was like, this motherfucker. First of all, I had to watch qualifying this morning, so I went back to sleep after that shit. And then you texted me talking about doing something early. I was like, bro, I already have my day planned. I was gonna be in this bed, laid the fuck out.
And I will take 100% ownership and responsibility for the kind of
Half-assed information.
Yeah. So my mom had brought Oktoberfest up to me weeks ago, even last weekend. She was like, "Hey, you want to go?"
I remember,
week? Yeah,
her
I had
saying
seen
something, but like,
so my mom, knowing my mom, she reminds me of everything all the time. 15 minutes after she told me the first time. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. And throughout the work week, I completely forgot about it. I got up this morning, and my mom was like, "Hey, Oktoberfest at 4:00." And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, podcast. And I was like, shit. I was like, if I would have just told Jared yesterday, I was like, maybe this wouldn't be. I was like, okay, so how can I do this? and you know, and I'm starting to, and then my mom's like, yeah, she was like, you can come. She was like, but since you're not a member, she was like, Jared can't come unless you become a member.
that's fine. I wasn't planning on going.
I know, but I would still like to at least have the option to allow you to come with me if you ever decide to be like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll come. You know, no problem. In that off chance that ever happens. So I'm like, oh, shit. Like, it's like, all right. So I messaged you, and, you know, a few hours go by. I figured you were asleep, no problem. And I'm like, damn, I'm cutting this close. So around the time before the event started, I was like, all right, well, let me take a shower, and let me just get myself together, because in case I hear from you. And I heard from you, and I was sitting there, and I was like, you know what? My mom's sitting down there. I think she really wanted me to come. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to go down there. And then as I park my car, you're like, hey, I was getting ready to leave my house. I'm like, you know, like 10 things going on.
You didn't give me enough information to know what was actually happening.
I was doing too much at one time with very little information and very little time. And it still, I feel, worked out relatively well. I wouldn't have mind stayed for like another 30 minutes or so.
I mean, I was fine. I got to eat before I left, so then I was kind of feeling rushed at first.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to avoid too, because it's like, oh man, I'm just like dropping, because I know your sleep schedule is much different than mine. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just dropping this on it.
I would have been up. It was just because this week last couple of weeks has been pretty fucking taxing. And I was just like, bro, I just want to do nothing for the next couple of days.
That's all right. It's good for you. I swear it's good for you. I promise.
Thanks, RJ. I know what rest means.
REST.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do shit, and I was like, my social basically that's what it was. My social battery was empty, and I needed to recharge that shit.
It's like that sometimes. I get it, especially if you're getting on stage. I'm sure that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a big
being an introvert and having to dump that much energy. Plus, I got the schmoozing and the networking with other people. Like that shit gets fucking tiring. So
it can be exhausting. I understand.
Had to go home and fucking recharge.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta plug it in.
I might not even be fully recharged yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, man, I miss those plug it in commercials.
I know. Next week, I'm only doing Tuesday, I think.
Yeah,
but then I'm out the week after that. So
yeah, so I'm very excited for your trip. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for you heading down to Texas. I'm hoping that whatever it is that you do, that somebody down there is like, hey, this guy's doing that pretty damn good.
Well, it'd be nice to get on Kill Tony. That would be a major boost.
Oh, dude, it would be fucking awesome. And I'll be the first person there and to annoy the shit out of you with the sign and the crown.
Why would you wouldn't be there?
Well, I'm just saying, if you got on Kill Tony, I would be the guy that's riding off of your coattails.
You wouldn't be there. Because it's there when we're doing it in the moment.
I get it. I understand that. But when the video comes out afterwards, I'm going to be the one be like, see, told you. I'm going to be riding your success all the way to the bank. Okay?
Okay, first of all, you got to keep your hands out my pockets.
I don't reach. I just open them like this, like a prayer. Like, please give me some more. You know, that kind of thing. I wouldn't do that. That's weird when people do that. I'm too old for that. If I was like, nah, I would never do this shit. That's fucking weird. Personally, that's just me. That's just me. All right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was talking about like just following people around for money. Like, hey, you got some bread? You got some bread? You got some money? Let me get some of that. Let me get some.
R.I.P. Arthur Jones.
Yes.
John Jones's brother, one of his brothers, also played in the NFL. Pretty sad. Even when it's sad, even when the UFC put something out, just because John Jones has had such a big part of the UFC. So I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
Young guy, only 39.
39. I was like, yo, RJ's about to kick the bucket, bro.
You know what's crazy? I was reading and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh shit, just turned 37.
Whenever I see somebody like that, like this, either younger than me or like around my age, I'm like, well, what the fuck? I need to go to the doctor.
No, it is. Yeah, it's funny, you know, and I'm sure it hits all of us as we get older. You know, even on my birthday, I was like, 37, and I'm like, 37. I'm like, and then you start thinking about, it's like, oh man, I got to go for a colonoscopy and I got to go do this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and again, this circles back to the original message on this show. There is nobody who wants to get up and go do those things, but it is for your best benefit to go do those things, because nobody's going to take care of you if you don't take care of you. It's very important. And that's super important. Everybody needs to know that. All bullshit aside.
Fucking RJ's on this fucking motivational speech thing today.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Nah, I mean it's it's probably the fall weather.
Oh, Tony Robbins' ass.
I am not Tony Robbins, okay? And I have no problem with him. I don't watch him, and I know I hope he's a decent human being. He seems like it.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's just like, it's just like when you think of what was that guy that ran that mega church? The white dude.
Which one?
The famous guy.
You're talking about, well, they're all
they're all famous, yeah.
You're talking about Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen, yeah. People like that, I can't stand people like that.
Well, you heard what happened to the one guy recently, right?
Yeah, he was caught with like child porn or something like that. Am I mistaken?
No,
I could be mistaken.
No. He was, after years, because this happened in like the 80s, and he was one of Donald Trump's spiritual guides or whatever, I think for his first term. But he basically molested this girl.
Yeah, I did see that.
And now she's an adult, and she's finally getting. And then the motherfucker, they gave him like 4 years, but he only is gonna do 6 months in county jail.
Yeah, so I actually have a problem with that, and we should all have a problem with that.
We should all.
And it's funny you bring that up. Yesterday, Diddy was sentenced to 4 years in prison.
For me, on that one, look, we talked about this before.
We did, but now that we've got the verdict.
He wasn't. He was sentenced for something that he didn't really commit. But you know what I'm saying? He wasn't found guilty of any of the stuff, but they still sentenced him as though he was.
And as far as I know, I think he was charged with obviously domestic violence, and a few. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, so hold on now. Domestic violence.
Okay, so no, I'm glad you're bringing it up.
He should have had time served. And I'm not saying I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is, the man's been in for what, a year and 2 months or something.
I think he's been in there for 14 months. Yeah, a year and 2 months. Yeah, sorry.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, sorry. I had a. What did Angela Reese do that? Where she was like, I make as much money in 7 days that y'all do in a week or some shit like that. I could be very wrong. I could be some satire I saw floating around.
Yeah, there's always something with her. But yeah, so I don't know.
I feel like an idiot.
And then prostitution. You don't get years in jail for prostitution.
No, I mean, I wouldn't. Can you pull up exactly what?
I don't feel like doing all that.
I'm just. Regardless, he's sentenced to 4 years. You think he's going to be in there for all 4?
Not sure. I don't know if he was eligible for parole, but he the year and 2 months he's already been in, because they actually gave him they gave him 4 years 2 months, and then the time is already served, so 3 years total he got.
All right, I have this. So let me ask you: do you feel that is the correct sentence for everything that's gone on? And that's some people feel it's not enough.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like it's not enough. I'd say it's just right. Again, because what they were going for, which Rico's insane. Like, there's no proof that there's an organization that he's fucking kingpin of. You know what I'm saying?
And would that prostitution, I guess, would that still be considered like, or I guess what they're passing it off as human trafficking?
Well, But the terminology, if I am correct, was basically traveling for prostitution. But I think it's a New York law, so it's not specifically trafficking.
Okay.
I think it's traveling for the purpose of prostitution. Which, my thing is, how come those people who testified, who were the actual prostitutes, didn't get anything? Like, how come you didn't charge them? Like that dude, what was his name? The dude that got on the stand.
The big.
Yeah.
No. I know who you're talking about.
How could he traveled? He was a part of it. He accepted money. Isn't that supposed to be illegal?
It is. It's got to be a part of maybe their deal to get on the stand. It's all fucked up. The system is never. It's never going to be correct. It's never going to. It's never going to work in favor of both parties. I mean, dude, you're in the court of law. It's either you're going to win or you're going to lose. There's in that place there is, a verdict, and you either win or you lose. There's no middle ground. Somebody is going to go out of a courtroom with the feeling of either relief or fuck, we're being shafted. It doesn't. It's a catch. I don't want to say catch-22, but it's
I will say this. Speaking on that, I think a bit of it for him is karma, because he let Shine take the fall for him shooting that club up.
Yeah, no, and dude, he deserves to be in jail right now, 100% for certain things he's committed. But to your credit, when this trial first happened, they were making it sound like he was Al Capone,
that's where the RICO came from, because that charge, RICO was created to get the mob, to get Al Capone. So like, yeah, the fact that they're trying to use him as like some great mob boss is kind of weird.
Yeah, and if
but I don't know, man. I'm so tired of all this bullshit. I don't know.
yeah, no, I'm tired of bullshit too, dude. I really am. Like I was talking to my mom the other night. I was like, man, I can't open my phone. I said I can't turn on no matter what news channel I watch. Okay, and I'm like, God damn, like shut up.
Yeah,
like stop.
It's getting very old.
Yeah, like stop. It's like we
and
as
they're all just bickering at this point. It's like, yo,
it is.
What the fuck are you like? Is anybody doing anything for the American people? This fucking farmer shit, where because of the tariffs,
the soybeans.
Because of the tariffs, China said, "Fuck you guys. We don't want any of your shit. We're gonna go to fucking your enemy, straight up Venezuela." Well, maybe that's why they're bombing them.
There's a lot, dude. There's a lot that's happening.
I just put two and two together. Okay, that makes sense.
Sometimes just saying it out loud is all you need.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm sick of it because.
What up, Jade?
Hey, what's going on, Jade? I'm tired of it. One, because at the end of the day,
Londa's here too. That was fucked up.
I know you said hi to him, and I know what's up, buddy. No, but we were talking, and I didn't want to be like, if I didn't say hi to you, bud, I'm so sorry. No, but like, put it this way: the government's shut down right now, okay, and I'm gonna blame everybody.
Well, no,
I'm gonna blame everybody.
But that's the thing. Well, it's the Democrats. No, it's the Republicans. No, it's the Democrats. How about it's both of you, motherfuckers?
Yeah. How about like you guys learn to flap your wings in succession together, okay?
And see,
where's George Bush?
That's the problem. They don't think they aren't thinking for the American people. First of all, they're
butthurt.
A lot of those motherfuckers. No, it's more than butthurt. A lot of those motherfuckers are getting paid by certain states in the Middle East to lobby for certain things.
Yeah.
So actually, both sides are getting paid for it. Now that I think about it, because
fucking crazy.
Saudi Arabia is fucking buying up everything. That's what we were talking about. EA getting bought up.
Yes.
And guess who's connected to that? Jared Kushner. Fucking his daughter's husband.
Well, I will say this. As a gaming fan, if you know EA, it can't get any worse.
Oh, what up, Epic? We didn't know you were here, sir, because you didn't let us know.
Epic. What's up, buddy?
He's making teriyaki beef jerky.
Ooh, that actually sounds incredible. I already know he's enjoying that, and I want you to enjoy that, but I hope you're doing well. And sorry about that. I was texting him during the Packers-Cowboys game about a week ago, and I was like, hey, bud. I was like, you guys got this. No worry. I watched 4 hours of football.
Ew.
Yep. I mean, I was kind of doing other things.
I stopped paying attention because I was like, fuck both these teams.
That's okay. And then they tied. They ended up in this battle, and the game tied. And I was like, oh, my God, how awful was that? And I thought of you immediately.
You were talking about football, and I was watching the score for the Maryland game. It was Maryland versus Washington. And Maryland was up all the third quarter, and now the fucking game is over, and they lost 24-20.
See, dude, do you know what's crazy about college football? Everything. There's nothing about college football that doesn't surprise me. I will give you a good example.
Well, I was hoping they would go 5-0, but they're 4-1 now.
That's all right. Sometimes it happens. Better do it now and get it out of the way. I remember I went into Lucky's one time. This was obviously years ago in our heyday. And I walked in after a shift at work. It was probably 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. There was a college football game on. I believe it was LSU, and I can't think of the other team. Do you know what the final score of that game was? It was 72-74. And I was thinking, how the fuck does something like this happen? So I ended up watching the highlights because they were playing them after the game. At one point in time, the other team was down by like 24 points. And I'm watching all these crazy plays. College football is something else, dude. Like, if you think you're going to win, you have no idea. It's fucking crazy. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Amazing.
Thank you. I like sharing my feelings.
I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Well, I saw it. It was real. And I was like, where's the defense? I'm over there fucking, giving my 2 cents about shit like that. Not that anybody cares, but I just like to share it. It's good sometimes to get it off your chest. Just saying. So I wanted to ask your opinion on this whole, Marvel Zombies thing going on.
Thing going on.
That show with the cartoon and animation with the zombies and Marvel.
I think I watched. Did I watch all? Yeah, it's only 4 episodes.
I've only seen 2. So the only reason I haven't seen the last 2 is because I actually purposely stayed up late to watch the first 2, and then I hadn't had a chance to watch the second 2. But I wanted to just get your brief thoughts on it since I haven't finished it, and I thought it's something you might want to talk about.
I liked it. I mean, I think they did a series on it before in the actual comic books.
Really?
But then they also had them in those early, the What If.
Yeah, so I do vaguely remember them from What If, but I was just going to say, overall, I like the feel of the show. Like, it feels apocalyptic.
Yeah, I like it, as long as they don't fucking try to bring everything zombie back again, because that shit got old real quick.
Dude, zombies, Zombies, I've had my fair share of it.
Yeah.
Fair share of it. Speaking of
Bring
zombies.
back vampires. That's what I want.
Yeah, where's Dracula? I want to suck your blood, blah. Or something like that.
Well, they did Nosferatu.
There's that, but that feels like an eloquent version of Dracula. Like, to me, it's like, I can't pronounce his name. Like, should I go see this if I can't pronounce it? I don't feel smart enough to watch that movie.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Good. I'm glad that worked.
Okay.
Excellent.
As long as you're proud of yourself.
I'm always proud of myself. That's what you got to do. It's called self-pride. Self-pride and gumption.
Careful with self-pride there, buddy.
Yeah. I'm not trying. No, this isn't. No, we're not going into this. Oh, here, you want to talk about pride. You want to talk about the guy that was talking to all the generals and everything?
Don't get me started on that shit.
No. So let me ask you,
I
dude.
talked about this on Tuesday.
I'm sure you did. And as I'm watching this guy talk, one,
I like how you call him this guy. That's appropriate.
well, he's a guy. He's a guy.
No, it's like, no, this fucking guy. That type of shit.
Well, I will say this. I come from a military family. I've never been in the military. A lot of my friends, yourself included.
I was about to say, well, you come from a military. I come from a military.
I understand that. So do I. But what I was going to say is I know people who've had the honor of serving and have taken that oath. And when he was talking about, people being in shape and fit, I was thinking, okay, all right. I was like, that seems like a reasonably decent argument. It's like, hey, man, if you're going to be on the front lines, you want to be in your best shape, right? Like, okay, I can kind of agree with that, right? Mm-hmm. And then they just start kind of going on all these tangents. And I'm just like, all right, so, like, this is the problem. Like, sometimes if you say something that makes sense, stop right there and don't continue to speak. It's like, hey, and I'm not talking about all the wokeness shit or whatever. Yeah, they're like, yeah.
He brought that up.
I more
and
so
none of
was,
it, and let's be real, that shit's not woke, quote unquote. When he went to the beardos part, that was racist, because there's a reason that came into effect, because black people or black men, when they shave,
razor bumps.
They get razor bumps, and it can get pretty bad for like me. I was lucky because I didn't really have to shave when I was in the military, just because I didn't grow facial hair.
That's what my friend Edgar, who I celebrated his birthday at that place a few months ago. He was telling me when he got back from boot camp, like, well, this is when we lived in Lorton, dude. He was like, dude, I got back. He was like, when we were shaving, because, he used to have a beard in high school, but he had to shave it. Mm-hmm. He was like, some of my guys, their razor bumps would be so nasty, like real bad. And he did say it's mostly African-American men that, suffer from it. And it's just like, hey, dude, it sucks that they're forced, to shave, especially if it's irritating. It's like, oh, your skin is a little too irritated for our department. Goodbye. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's
with that.
weird. And
it's very weird.
And the majority of, there's a lot of African Americans who join the military because that is a major, even like my grandfather, during that time, that was a time when the only benefits that you were going to be guaranteed, quote unquote, was because you went into the military, because that was a law. Like, all right, you get the GI Bill, VA loans and stuff. So it was like a step up. That's why a lot of African Americans join them, and now I think it's mostly Hispanic Americans, only because again they need that help to get the step up.
And that's completely and hats off to anybody who signs up to do that.
But what they're doing, and what he was saying, no, we want an all-white male military for the most part. Because basically we don't want no women on the front lines. Just that other thing. They just want to, again, their version of making America great again is taking us back to the fucking 50s.
Yeah, and again, I'm listening to him talk, and he's getting into being healthy and being fit, and I'm like, all right, like as somebody who's never done this, and somebody who's like active once every 2 months, I'm like, all right, I was like, this is something that seems to make sense. Like it's like, all right, you want to look your best, feel your best, cool. And then they just go on about everything in itself. So it's like, man, like you just know how to shoot yourself in the foot, don't you? It's like there's no.
Well, a part of his thing is his ego as well. He was National Guard and got deployed, I think, to Iraq twice, but he wasn't really doing like a combat job. He wasn't leading men or anything.
Yeah, and I understand that.
And so it's like weird to have him fucking like you're a major that didn't really do shit. These are like people who've been in wars, especially the last few 20 years we were in war.
Yeah, it's been going on for some
time.
All
these
now.
people, they came up through that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now they got to come from wherever their base is, front lines, come fucking here. Why would you put them all in one place is crazy to me. And then sit there. So, of course, he's going to say some shit that shoots himself in the foot because he wasn't getting the response that he thought he was going to get. And he was like, well, let me just say this because maybe they'll be on my side because of this. Like, no, you're trying to you got some version of some officer that was giving you a pep talk at one point, and now you're trying to do that. But, like, first of all, he pointed out, like, we can't have fat generals.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what the fuck? What do we?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Have you seen that motherfucker, a clip of him doing a pull-up?
No. And
he's horrible.
Yeah, no. So this is my thing, and it just at the end of the day, when you're going to go out and you're addressing a group of the strongest, brightest minds in the military,
and to our enemies, FAFO.
Yeah, like stop. Like stop.
It's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, like bro, it's Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday morning, bro. I'm literally listening to fucking the junkies talk about Washington, and this guy's over here like, we're going to war, and it's like, we're not. Shut up. Like, I am not
the way the next guy was talking,
dude. I was all for it to a degree until I was like, all right, being fit. I was like, Jared could get behind something like that. Being a fit military man, why not? Then he's like, yeah, if you got this, and that, you're gay. And it's like, oh my god, shut up! I'm like, just shut the fuck up.
The rhetoric is
it's horrible,
dude.
Like it amazes me sometimes when people, I'm a very logical person. I use common sense.
How is this guy the fucking Secretary of Defense? I refuse to call it the Secretary of War.
That is such a weird name to me. This is what they want. I'm telling you, this is what they want. War.
They want
for what?
This is what they want. They want this good old boy. They don't want the good old boy network to go away. First of all, which it still exists, and they want them to be the only ones in charge. And they have to. This is like they're so fucking little dick energy that they have to do this shit.
Yeah, it's like rename. Like, first of all, the Department of Defense sounds badass. First,
I think so too.
It could be a thing in my mind where it's like I'm not used to Department of War. It just doesn't sound right to me.
I mean, it used to be called that way back when, but it doesn't fit right. First of all, if we're supposed to be what we have become, and we're not so much now because we're looked at as like clowns now, but it used to be America was the leader of the world. Like we were the example.
Yeah.
Now we're the fucking laughing stock.
Yeah, dude. And I I'm a very, I always talk about being American, and all that other shit. I'm always going to be a proud American. But what pisses me off is when when we as a society, we tolerate or we don't tolerate it to certain. It's like dude, you're in a position of power. Like, talk and fucking act like it. That's it. Dude.
That's out the window, bro.
And that is my biggest problem with anything. You can have the best policies in the world, and they could benefit me and you 100%, and I'll be for it. But the moment you open your mouth and carry yourself like a jackass, that is so bad, dude. And you could have all the great things in speaking matters, dude. Like, and I was joking earlier. I was like, bring back, but George Bush gets a lot of flack. I miss George Bush sometimes.
Well, you know what's funny?
I miss Barack Obama sometimes.
There's a lot of people. The reason we're in this situation is because a lot of people are mad at the fact that Obama existed. I will put a stamp on that. This is the pushback for 8 years of black man being president. Because there was a lot of people in certain parts of the country that was like, we can't have that N-word up in there.
Yeah, and it's stupid. It's just like the idiots that are so upset about the halftime show of the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
the Bad Bunny shit.
Yeah, first of all, Puerto Rico is an American territory. Yeah. He's a fucking citizen. Get over it.
Look,
like,
turn it off. You've been crying about the NFL for fucking years. Turn it the fuck off.
Yeah, and this is how.
But no, they got to fucking have their weekly fucking injection of fucking foosball. It's like, yo, relax. This is why I told you. I got out of it a long time because these emotional children that surround it.
I was more so like, dude, the way I view the halftime show, when somebody's like, oh, they're announcing the halftime show, I'm like, great, it's the halftime show of the Super Bowl. Yeah. I watch football 4 months out of the year like I've done for the last, some odd years of my life.
I'm not watching the Super Bowl for fucking halftime show.
We're not. We're going to watch.
We aren't, but there are people. That's what. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
No, but you're right. There are folks who aren't football fans, but they want to see the pageantry.
Yeah, the commercials and all this.
The commercials, I'll get. I understand that.
Not going to name any names, but they're a different gender than me. Because there's only two.
Yeah. God, come on, guys. Come on. If me and Jared can go about on this show for this long, you guys should really recognize that. No, but it blows my mind that people legit will get riled up about it. And it's not that serious. First of all,
what have I been telling you for years?
No, it's not. And I know you have. But at the same time, when they were announcing it, I'm like, all right, who's it going to be? I could care less. And it's like, oh, it's Bad Bunny. And I'll tell you something. Bad Bunny in the last 2 years, has been in a WWE ring 2 or 3 times and has torn the fucking house down.
Well, he's popping right now. I was watching something the other day. Oh, yeah. That movie with Austin. What's his name?
I know what you're talking about. He's got the suit on in the movie. Is he wearing a suit in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the cameo of.
Well, I saw
Happy Gilmore. Is that what it was?
Oh no, he was in Happy Gilmore too. Yes, but then he was also in this new one with what the fuck is his name? He was in Top Gun. Austin, whatever. I can't remember his name, but anyway, and Zoe Kravitz is in it also. Catch Me If You Caught Stealing is the name of the movie. We saw the preview for it.
That's right. Oh, that's where I.
But I saw the movie this week, and pretty good movie. It's an action movie that I haven't seen like an action like that in a while. Like action with a story. I haven't seen one of those in a while. I thought it was pretty good. But Bad Bunny's in there. He does a good job in there. So like on the acting, and he was in Bullet Train. He's been in a lot of movies recently. I don't listen to his music. Not a fan of really reggaeton like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if I don't want to watch it, then I'll just turn the other. I'll go do something else.
Dude, the halftime show for most people, or halftime in general, is get up, take a piss, get your snacks, stretch your legs.
First of all, Epic, relax. You just got a barely good team.
No, don't do it. Go Pack, go. There you go.
He was like, some of us watch football 6 months out of the year because we have good teams. Like,
yeah.
You guys, you guys just got good again, so relax.
Well, if anything, that's probably more of a dig at me, but that's okay. I have gotten to the wild card the last 8 years and have not gotten past that. That's gonna change this year. It has to.
That's not.
But it was kind of cool getting up at 8 in the morning to watch football. Sorta.
That's not cool at all. Because I do that for fucking F1, and it's not fucking fun.
Dude, my grandmother woke me up on Sunday. She was like, "You ready for the game?" And I'm like, "Yep." And I got up, and I was just like,
Nope.
"Yep."
I
So
refuse. When I lived in California, when the game, what time did the game? If the 1 o'clock game, that would be what? 9 o'clock here?
9:30, 10 a.m. for you, yeah.
Yeah, nah, son. That's pretty much when I stopped watching football for the most part. When I came back, I did start again because it was at Lucky's or whatever, but
Actually,
not too much.
you make a good point, dude. Timing, dude, if I watch football, watching a Steelers game at 9:30 in the morning, it's the first time I've ever done that. It was actually kind of cool. I kind of wish it was more of a thing because I had the rest of the day for myself.
Well, and that's out west. That's a big thing, like because then you have the rest of the day to.
Yeah, we watched the game.
Or when the Super Bowl happens, because I remember I think it was the year that the Bucks beat the Raiders, and I remember it was still light outside. After the game was over, we go outside and fucking after barbecuing and fucking throw the ball back and forth.
Dude, it was literally lunchtime by the time my football game was over, and I was like, all right, we got the win. That's a good way to start Sunday. I was like, what am I going to do? And then my buddy Austin, you know him, the gentleman that works over here, said, hey, man, I've got the Washington game on, this, and that. He lives 5 minutes away. He said, you want to come over? He just randomly texted me, and I was like, you know what? My game's over. I was like, sure. Went over, watched a Washington game with him. Fortunately, they weren't successful. They're going to be successful tomorrow. I know it. But it was just cool. It's like, damn, I got the whole day to myself. What do I do? I could have just laid on the couch so it was kind of cool watching it, early in the morning. But every week, I don't know. It was a little hard to get up. I'm not going to lie. Just a tad bit.
Again, welcome to F1, buddy. They're in Singapore this week, and yeah, tomorrow's race is at 8 a.m.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, speaking of 8 a.m., you know what comes after 8 a.m.?
But the next race is Austin.
And Jared's going to take lots of pictures while he's down there.
I don't mean I'm going to share them with you.
That's okay. He's going to share them with us.
I like taking videos because I like hearing the engines.
Taking videos is cool. That reminds me, I really got to get more space on my phone.
Like when I do NASCAR, that shit's loud.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I still got my little earbuds in the little case.
Oh no, I have noise canceling headphones now.
You've got your Guardian cap, the giant NFL helmet.
No, I have fucking headphones, motherfucker. That cancel noise out. And I can still hear people talking, but it cancels out all the loud noise in the back.
You know what doesn't cancel out loud noise in the back? The Mad Scientist Live podcast. Yeah, that's right. You already know what time of the show it is. It's that time where I remind you can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. Every Monday at 9 a.m. sharp for the visual on YouTube, and every Saturday around 6:30 p.m.ish here live on Twitch. Check us out on Kick, too, if Jared's got that up and rolling.
It's up.
It's up, yeah. So we are on
same tag as this.
Yeah, multiple platforms to check out the Mad Scientist.
Except it's kick.com/bizmadscientist.
Kick.com/bizmadscientist if you're on the Kick platform. There's multiple ways of checking us out, the way to digest conversation and just be a part of the greatest podcast in North America and soon to be Cuba. Well, the way the world's going.
I think that's North America as well. Cuba is on the North American continent.
You know what's crazy is I had an A in social study and civics. It's crazy how that works.
That's geography, not fucking social studies or civics.
And we will see you guys next week. Jesus Christ. I just did it on purpose. I promise. Sure. Here, let's put a cap in it.
Man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
All right, folks. As always, it is a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And Jared, I will let you do the complimentary.
Shut your mouth.
An hour? What am I supposed to do with the mad scientist for an hour?
You know, tamper in God's domain.
Peace.
See you guys.
You so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The Mad Scientist Lab. The Mad Scientist Lab. The Mad Scientist Lab. The Mad Scientist Lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The Mad Scientist